It's Monday, Mayo. It's Monday, May 5th. My name is Rich, and this is your 5-Minute Fix. Welcome to the 5-Minute Fix, where we take stories about pretty much anything from pretty much anywhere and try to give it to you in 5 minutes or less today. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all those who celebrate. What we have for you today is a little update story on that whole Steve Smith Sr. situation. If you don't recall, Steve Smith was involved in, I guess you could say, a scandal in which a man accused him of sleeping with his wife. Now, yes, it was an accusation, but this man came with not only receipts, but there were pictures. I'm sure there were videos. We didn't see any of the videos, but I'm sure there were videos. He even had a conversation with Steve Smith Sr. himself. This man went on Facebook, called out his wife, now ex-wife obviously, went to Twitter, called out Steve Smith and his wife. He was going any and everywhere to make it known that his wife was getting her cheeks clapped by Steve Smith Sr. for a while. Well, it now appears this man is filing a lawsuit, and quite frankly, a little bit of an obscure one, because apparently this law only exists in about 6 states within the United States of America, and it seems that he is taking advantage in the state of North Carolina. Y'all, this news article does a good job of breaking it down.
Former Carolina Panthers wide receiver and current analyst Steve Smith Sr. is now facing a legal battle. It comes months after a man accused the 5-time Pro Bowler on social media of having an affair with his wife, who is a member of the Baltimore Ravens marching.
Guys, I gotta add too, this guy was like crashing out on social media. Just not something that would be recommended by anybody if you're going through a situation like this.
Banned at the time. The lawsuit filed in Mecklenburg County Superior Court is seeking more than $100,000 in damages under an obscure state law known as the alienation of affection. So joining us now to break down what this all means is our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Alienation of affection.
Khalif laughing.
Not a term that we hear a lot.
Yeah, you don't hear it a lot, but in law school, this is one that got a lot of laughs in the classroom. You start talking about, wait, there's a law where you can bring a lawsuit against someone. It's a tort. This is like, for a negligence claim, it's, breach, duty, causation, and damages. Well, this is the exact same way. It has its elements, and it's not a criminal action. It's a civil action. So this person is seeking money. What you're attempting to say, was there a valid marriage? That's how you have to prove it. Okay, these folks were clearly married. Did they create some alienation? Did they have that genuine affection for one another? So if a person or two people were separated, living in a house together, they get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they start dating, well, you can't have this type of claim because we were...
That's a good question. We don't know what the relationship was like prior to all of this coming out. This guy, he didn't say whether they were together or not. Perhaps it was a situation where the wife had told him, like, you know what, I'm done. They were still living together for the sake of the kids or whatever it may be. People do many different things, but perhaps it was a situation where she was done, he was not. He finds out, he gets butthurt.
We're separated. We had no genuine
no pun intended.
affection. And this is really trying to get into the weeds and be able to show, was there a relationship, and have you come and broken up this marital relationship? This is a contract. And so now you've come in and you've breached this contract that these two people have come together and taken in the courts. And so because you've breached that, we'll give them a legal remedy on how to fix your breach. The other option would be for the person to take it in their own hands and say, okay, I'm going to go after this other person. Well, society, we don't want that to happen. And so when the drafters of our laws created this, it's like, well, how do we avoid this confrontation? You can have a confrontation in court. That's the clearest way that you can have this one playing out.
So proving feelings, proving there was love or affection in this marriage, does they also have to prove that the third party had malicious intent or had any kind of objective?
You don't have to prove intent, just have to prove that it alienated this other person. And
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the intent was there. He's saying you don't even have to prove intent, but I'm pretty sure it's clear the intent was there.
So if you can prove that I had a valid marriage.
Steve Smith out there sending selfies to this chick.
And now you've inserted your person as this third party.
Talking dirty and stuff.
Wheel bicycle. Now, at the end of the day, now you have opened up yourself for liability. Now I have to just prove that I have been alienated. Now I am the third person on the outside looking in. Right. And because I'm on the outside, you owe me something for that. Typically that something is money.
Does that third party have to be someone who is also seeking some kind of romantic entanglement here? Or if someone's mom says, I think your husband's a bum, could they then go through and say, you alienated her affections.
That's a good
No,
point.
it has to be more where there has to be an intimate relationship where they have now made that relationship diminish. So in your scenario, you're saying that person just made a negative comment about the spouse, and now the spouse no longer likes or looks at them. No, there has to be some intimate. These are really called these heart balm statutes where it's based on love and it's based on that relationship that's being deteriorated because of some other relationship, you know, like adultery or something like that. That's the vein that this is in.
In these prior cases, this can be very costly. We're talking millions of dollars.
They can go
here.
from 0 to millions, and typically the millions is when it has a big name connected to it. You got an NFL player, you got an actor, you have someone that's able to have not just their financial backing, but the luster of being a superstar, to be somebody of a celebrity. So now
This guy's saying that he's not suing for enough. You got Steve Smith Sr. in there. You need to be suing him for more. Is what I'm getting from this guy.
that celebrity status portion is pulling them away and is alienating them even faster. So if you may have been alienated and their affection may have been drawn by an average person, now this superstar, this celebrity has done it quicker, you know?
This
Now
guy's built the
you're in
case.
an era where you have
Get this
all
man on the
data that
case.
You can bring and
He's
show,
built it.
well, hey, they're back and forth. The conversations are salacious at best.
Salacious.
And so now you can show this to the court and say, how can I go back to this relationship after that?
There you go, guys. A little background on the law, but also the fact that the guy is not suing for an ultra exorbitant amount of money. And I say that just being that Steve Smith Sr., he's made millions upon millions in his career. So this guy could probably sue him for a little bit more. Not to say that $100,000 is not a lot of money. But yes, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Perhaps we'll get another update in regards to this. Who knows when the civil case will take place? But I want to know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. My name is Rich. This has been your 5-Minute Fix.